God, the Packers are terrible. Yeah. Is it live? No, stay. No, no, I'm busy right now. Okay, out.
So why do you wanna end?
It's beautiful.
Why do you wanna? Took a swing at a wrecking ball and
Oh, there he is.
my downfall and I found a way to
I can't wait to say this shit to this guy. Ah,
It's a
man.
bloody battlefield where sun go down, others heal. In the end, it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I've decided to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay.
I hope it picks up.
That you will stay.
We'll get our affiliation changed to like a porn podcast. Yeah.
I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie.
What would your porn star name
Too
be?
many highs, too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within, oh. I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame, oh. Do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie.
Thanks for joining. Everyone, thanks for joining. We're going to do a little recap of week 6 of the NFL, talk about some games, and discuss the Sunday night game a little bit here. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go! Man, what a good win. They're so good. They look so good. Ryan, what did you think of that win?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. We've already discussed this.
I mean, you looked at the box score,
I haven't looked at the box score. I looked at the final score. Obviously, that's not pretty. I saw Baker Mayfield got benched.
Yeah, he got benched because the game was out of reach.
Oh.
And they hit him they hit him one time, and it was a pretty big hit, and I think it was right before halftime, wasn't it, Kyle? That hit, I think, maybe. Yeah, I think it was right before halftime. They drilled him, and he did not look good after that. Yeah, and it was a pretty big hit. So I want to talk football and discuss how your favorite Okay, so let's just talk about some prop bets. How did your prop bets do, Ryan?
Andrews was kind of underwhelming today. They did find the tight end possession, but it was Boyle that caught the touchdown pass on kind of like a broken play for the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Fulgham had over 54.5. Fulgham scored on kind of a play that probably shouldn't have happened. Wentz kind of just threw one up in the air, and Fulgham came down with kind of like a jump ball when Peters kind of looked stupid.
Who looks stupid?
Peters or
Peters. Yeah.
Peters or Humphrey, one of them.
Peters really hasn't been playing well this year.
I'm trying to think of who the other ones were. I know it was Fulgham. I know it was Mark Andrews. Who else did we talk about?
I know I didn't hit a couple of mine. I liked my favorite bet of the week was
Philip Lindsay had a good week.
Yeah, that was my favorite play. But I also had Evan Ingram was sitting at 30 yards for 2 quarters and didn't catch another pass. So I was pretty pissed. Who else didn't I hit? James Conner. And then also I didn't hit freaking Miles Sanders has a 77-yard touchdown run. Oh my gosh. I mean, I was happy because I'm sad because he's on my fantasy team and he got hurt. Yeah. So it was disappointing. But, what are you going to do? You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Lost a couple, hit some good ones. But I was right. I talked about it on the show earlier today. I said the Madison play and Montgomery play and DFS were both chalky. I said to stay away from them. I was worried that Atlanta was going to get out. And yes, you can go back and watch that video. I said Atlanta was going to get out to a fast start and they're going to be playing from behind. You can go look at the video. Proof is in the pudding. Okay. I got that right. And I liked Julio a lot this week. I bet the over on his yards and he went over. So, but how about the Eagles? How did they look?
They looked rough for most of the game. Wentz kind of is the only person that kept him in that game, to be honest. He was making plays. I saw a stat earlier where it's he's been under duress in 40% of his dropbacks. And it's the first time since they started recording the stats that an Eagles quarterback has been under duress more than 40% for 3 straight games since 2009. The offensive line, they had another guy go down today, Driscoll, who was a backup to a backup that they just drafted this year. So the line and the injuries continue to be an issue. Kayvon Wallace got one of the rookies they drafted out of Clemson, the safety, got hurt. It's a mess. But they managed to come back and they did make a game of it.
They did. They did. I was hoping for him at the end. I was hoping they'd pull it out. I was rooting for him. It was disappointing, but
yeah,
that was pretty. I did not like that play, the 2-point conversion. I mean,
it was sloppy.
It was sloppy, but if you're gonna run a read option, I don't know. I just don't like that down there. if you're gonna do something, if you want to kind of have like an option, roll them out and have the option to throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have Derek Brown. He's a. I don't know if you guys know what like FTN fantasy is. Do you guys know what that is?
I saw you posted something. Is that the guy you posted about?
Yeah, he was talking up, and I like me personally. It's not that I don't like Tanyan, but he was kind of a dick about it. So and he was like, "Oh, give him all this shit," and then I just said, "Hey, have Tanyan do. Ask him for a friend." Oh,
Uh,
no, he was out. Who are you talking about, Tanyan? When was that? Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
and
what
they pulled the
happened.
rush.
Ertz pulled up a couple times and tried going back out, and then I think he finally just took himself out of the game.
There were some big surprises. I mean, I thought Pittsburgh a blowout was kind of surprising. I'd expect it to be a closer game that Pittsburgh would win, but definitely didn't expect a blowout. I mean, this game right now, the Packers game. I mean, that was a massive blowout. Jeez, Rodgers did not look good at all. I mean, I don't know what to expect because then you have the Bucks who lose to the Bears. So are the Bears really good? Or the Bucks? I just don't know what to make of it. Like these weeks are so confusing when they happen like this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who. I guess you have Seattle. They're probably the best team in the NFC right now. But yeah. So what do you guys think? How the Steelers?
Do they play each other next week?
Hmm. Well, and so are the. Well, you're just saying two of the teams, right? Yeah. Seattle. No, there's nobody else in the AFC. Hmm. Right. What about some fantasy guys that really impressed this week? For me, I mean, Ronald Jones just keeps looking good. He looks really good. I mean, I liked him. Like I thought the Leonard Fournette thing was kind of like an overblown, just like the Le'Veon thing is. I think it's kind of overblown. Like these are two guys that have done well. In the beginning of the season, I was kind of worried about it, especially that one game where Leonard Fournette had the long touchdown run. But I mean, ever since then, like Ronald Jones just looked really good. So, in my opinion, he should be the back going forward. Other surprises: Julio coming back, he looked really good as well. Didn't look limited at all. Looked really good. So definitely somebody. If you traded for him, good for you. What about Ryan? Have you looked at any of the lines tonight?
I haven't looked yet, but there's a couple guys that impressed me in the earlier games. Um, we already talked about him a little bit. Philip Lindsay, obviously, with
Mm-hmm.
the possible suspension looming with Gordon, if he gets the opportunity, he's going to make the most of it and continue. I mean, he's had really good seasons when he was the featured back. So obviously you kind of expect it if he gets the opportunity for at least 3 games in a row. I don't know what their matchups look like, but I could see him being definitely a solid RB2, possibly like that teetering between RB1 and RB2. And then the other person, since he's been healthy, he just keeps killing his AJ Brown. I tried getting him a decent amount in fantasy, and it didn't work at like drafts because I think a lot of people had the same idea. Even he was kind of like Debo, where like a little bit of an injury history. With his injury, it like pushed him back in some fantasy drafts. But I think he 3 touchdowns in 2 games since he's been healthy. So
Yeah.
I like him a lot too. He was impressive. For the lines tonight. This is another weird game because you don't know what 49ers are going to show up. They looked absolutely.
I know, right? This is definitely tough because they did look really bad last week.
Yeah, I like Joe. Joe's solid, yeah.
Joe Rizzo?
Joe.
Hey, guys. Well, I want to say real quick, going off of what Ryan said. Well, I do think that game was interesting as well, like that New England game, because we kind of talked about it like we expected a blowout, and so did Vegas, really. So, and to see the Broncos win that game is, I don't know if that speaks to the Broncos with Drew Lock at quarterback, or if that just kind of, because New England looked good against Kansas City for majority of the game until like the very end when Kansas City started getting you have Needham out there, throws interceptions. Brian Hoyer looks terrible, and they stayed in the game, but then they go out against Denver and they don't look good. So I mean, it's interesting. Maybe just Cam. Cam I think he had an interception. Did he have 2 interceptions? Maybe. I think he had 2 picks or something.
I think one was a rough one though. Like he got batted at the line, and like a defensive lineman laid out for it. Those ones kind of just suck. Just like tip pass.
They're unfortunate.
Like one of the.
Right. But one guy I keep talking about on the show, I've talked about him. I said he's going to have a better season than Jared Judy a couple weeks back. Tim Patrick, baby. And what's he do today? Has 104 yards. I'm telling you. And that so-called expert over there, Derek Brown for FTM Fantasy. You know, I could write for FTM Fantasy if that guy's writing for FTM Fantasy. He says that play Jerry Judy, and I commented, and I said Tim Patrick's a better play. And then what's he do? Oh, Tim Patrick is a better play. So FTM Fantasy, if you need somebody writing for you, hit me up, baby. I'm available. Aspire. And there's a couple. I did want to make a video. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to make just a Thrive video, like a couple minutes long, talking about the player props. Post that on Twitter and our Facebook page. If you're in Pennsylvania, you need to get in Pennsylvania, boys. Whatever it takes.
I think Governor Wolf watches.
He usually does.
He watches the show.
Yeah. Cool, because we're about to get monetized. You're not following the community guidelines, Kyle.
Kyle, I just got a text that people can't hear you, Kyle. It was our loyal listener, Brendan Hodges. Shout out to Brendan Hodges.
Brendan, can you hear me now, sweetheart? Let me know.
Let's see. We got a comment in the chat. Go Browns by LudyX.
Oh, but Tanner.
Listen, I do think, and I'll say this.
True fan. I won't talk shit.
The Browns, the Steelers definitely just looked like the better team today. I mean, Baker, number one, was already hurt. They were missing a guard. They missed a safety, so they had some players missing. I think a lot of people expected the Steelers to win this game, obviously, to not blow them out. But I still think the Browns are a good football team going forward. So if you're a Browns fan, there's still hope. not all hope is lost. But you're still the little brother in the AFC North, okay?
And
That's a fact.
And they don't have greedy Ray Williams. He didn't play this week either. So there's another one. I just think that they're battling a lot of injuries, but people they were warned, and I don't know. This could either just be a 1 week fluke, or this could be the theme going forward. Odell cannot be doing the shit he did on the sideline after that game.
Yeah, that was.
That is ridiculous.
Did you see that, Ryan?
No. What did he do?
He like there was, I don't know how much time was left, like 5 minutes left, and they pulled him or whatever, and he's standing on the sideline, takes off his shoes, his cleats, pulls his shirt up, and is yelling at people in the stands to tell them, watch, and it's like, dude, shut up. Like,
if
you
you're
just
gonna
got
do anything, go to the fucking locker room and just shut up. And
well, just sit on the bench and just
that's
soak
the
it
main
up.
thing you should
Like,
do. But if you're gonna do anything that's gonna make you look like an asshole, I'd rather just go to the locker room. I mean,
he looked like a big crybaby.
yeah, if I'm Stefanski, I would be like, dude, go, just fucking go, get out of my face. Because you're setting an example for every wide receiver to do the same thing when nobody says anything to him. So, all I'm saying is, how many other coaches would let that shit slide? Not many, especially winning coaches.
Not Tomlin. Tomlin would have.
Tomlin. Maybe not now, but in the past. But I think he's done with the superstar shit after AB and Le'Veon. He put up with that shit for so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's how AB was, and that's how Odell is.
Hey,
Odell's a skill.
I want to say this. I already know what Ryan's gonna say here because he's such a homer. He hates the Steelers. You say the Steelers, and he has to disagree because he hates them. But in their prime. I guess I shouldn't say in their prime, but career-wise, who's had a better career, AB or Calvin Johnson?
Well, career, I feel like you have to say AB because Calvin just didn't last long enough.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have on your team, AB or Calvin?
Well, Calvin Johnson, when he was playing, Calvin Johnson probably would end up being one of the best receivers ever if he would have continued how he was playing, because that dude was a freak.
Yeah, I do look at it as if AB didn't have Roethlisberger or somebody like Roethlisberger, there's no conversation. But Stafford didn't really have to be that great to get the ball to Megatron. Because Megatron's so big and his catch radius is so large, nobody could cover him.
I'll say, from a pure athleticism, just God-gifted ability, obviously Calvin Johnson. Mm-hmm. But I will say this is that AB had six seasons in a row with 100 yards or 100 receptions and over 1,000 yards. He's the only player in NFL history. And yes, we got robbed of seeing Calvin Johnson not playing that long, but we also got robbed of seeing AB because he came off of an amazing year, and to go to the Raiders and just have a mental breakdown. We were robbed of seeing him play for 5 more years, even longer. Possibly.
Think about if none of that happened. None of it even arose. He had no ill will.
He's on pace to break Jerry Rice's records.
Exactly. I think we would already be talking about him right now. Because, look at Chase Claypool and the rest of that receiving core, what they can do, and Ben just spreading. Ben doesn't even need to be that good, honestly. He doesn't. And it's just crazy that AB... I think about if the Patriots would have kept him, what they would have done last year.
Yeah,
obviously
it's disappointing, but let's talk about a couple. Why do Tyler and Ryan always fight? Well, Ryan just won't admit that the Steelers were good this week. And, on Snapchat, he has to say, they haven't played anybody. Then they play the Browns and they blow out the Browns, and he's hesitant to say, yes, they're a good team. He's hesitant.
The Ravens, and then he says the Ravens. You said the Ravens.
I had to watch the Eagles and the Steelers. I watched the Eagles playing back-to-back weeks. The Ravens looked like the better team. The Ravens killed themselves today by having 12 penalties.
How does that make them the better team?
The Steelers were
because those are fixable.
They ran the score up on the Eagles way earlier than the Ravens even did, and then they blew their lead in the entire second half. The Steelers did to one.
So did the Ravens.
Yeah, but to one guy, and then that's what happened to the Ravens too. I think it's just mostly because people don't know how to cover Fulgham yet. they really don't really game plan around him because they thought the 1 year
Listen,
the 1 week was gonna be a fluke. I think.
we'll
Dude's
see who's
legit,
we'll
though.
see who's
He
the
is
best team
legit.
in the NFC or AFC next week. And if the Steelers win, Ryan will probably say, "Well, the Titans just aren't that good yet. I didn't watch the game. I need to watch the game." That's
Is
probably
it a
what
prime time game?
I actually don't know what it is.
It
It should be.
be. I don't know why it wouldn't
They
be.
should. This is what I hate about the NFL is that week 11 they have the fucking Jets playing on a Monday night, and it's like, dude, flex them out of there. Nobody wants to see the Jets play. Flex. Like, why do you just let these games happen? Let the teams that are doing really well flex them to the prime time. But no, they just let the Jets and Denver play. It's like, oh my gosh, terrible. Nobody wants to watch that. But
Do you guys know who the Thursday night game is?
hold on, real quick. I'll look it up right now in the process.
I know who it is. No, it was a question.
Who?
It's the Eagles and the Giants. I just feel like I've seen absolutely no advertisements for that reason.
That's going to
Especially
be a good
after
game.
today. I mean, the Giants.
Giants got that dub, dude.
They
But
did.
they are so awful to
I thought
watch.
Washington would win. That. Oh god, yeah, they're terrible. Who do you think wins that game? I mean, I hope the Eagles. Where's the game at? You
I
know,
actually
Ryan?
don't. I keep having to remind myself the Thursday night
But
game.
I will
'cause
say, I don't think Daniel Jones is really that bad of a quarterback.
I don't
I
think he's
don't.
that bad. It's just his line's terrible.
Well, not
did,
even just
did
there's
Slayton
nothing.
get hurt? Was he out of the game?
No, I don't remember
Did he come
if
back
he got
in?
hurt, but he was playing. I don't remember if he got hurt. I remember there was a
it's in Philly.
wasn't it?
Some
Oh yeah,
filler.
it was his ankle. That's what. Yeah, he got hurt. So he caught a touchdown pass, and then he was like, he like stopped right at the wall, and then he like must have rolled his ankle or something, and he just started limping. I don't know how severe it is. I don't know if he went back in.
Hopefully not.
Anybody in the chat knows, please say, and we'll give you kisses.
Let me see injury updates. I'm going to look at some of these. But before I do, I want to see who the primetime game is on
And hold on,
Sunday.
can anybody hear me? Please say in the chat if you can hear me. Where I was having issues a minute ago. Please,
Brendan
or
Metz
somebody.
said he could hear you.
Okay, thanks, Brendan.
Steelers and Titans play at 1 o'clock. The early line is Steelers minus 1.5. Ooh. Let's look at some of these early lines and see what we like here. I do want to talk about the game tonight. I want to, if you're playing DFS, which I make one lineup for these kind of games just because it's super. These games are so hard to do DFS for because it's really who scores a touchdown, and if you get lucky enough to hit the guy that you got to pay down to get these guys in your lineups, like that's what it comes down to on Sunday night. So these single game slates are really hard. Captain, with the captain, I think the best captain tonight, in my opinion, and he's probably going to be pretty high owned in the captain spot, is George Kittle. Or another guy would be like Raheem Mostert. I think he'd be a good captain spot player as well. So just to kind of talk about tonight's game. But going to next week, let's look at it. I'm going to read some of these early lines off here and tell me what you think of some of these lines. So the first one I'm going to talk about is going to be the Buffalo Bills and Jets. Right now is at minus 11. I think I'm going to take the Bills at minus 11. The Jets look pathetic right now, and the Bills. If the Dolphins what was the final score to that game? They crushed them, didn't they?
It was 24-0.
Was that 24-0? That's the last I saw.
Yeah, that pick was pretty sick though.
I didn't see. Oh, off the butt or whatever.
Yeah,
He could cut off his butt.
I do see right now. Apparently, Taylor Lewan possibly tore his ACL. Going into next, if we were just talking about the Steelers Titans.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Jonnu Smith got hurt too, didn't he?
I just saw that he had a piss poor.
Then 26 torn ACLs so far this season.
That's pretty crazy. I'm gonna look up the injuries because I thought he did get hurt. I'm gonna see the injuries. Somebody talk about something. Kyle, go ahead. Take it off here. What
Let's talk
happened to
about
your
first touchdown score tonight.
All right, go ahead. Who do you think?
You want me to kick it off?
Well, I saw FanDuel boosted Raheem Mostert. I don't know what it
I
is.
put a little bit of money on that. It's like
what is it right now?
750.
$750.
Yeah,
I like that one, obviously.
Yeah, I like Josh Reynolds as a sleeper.
Josh Reynolds. What's his?
He's like plus, depending on where you get, he's plus 2,400 or plus 3,000. So if you're thinking about placing a bet on Josh Reynolds, go to DraftKings if you have both. FanDuel has him. Yeah, he has him up. FanDuel's plus 2,400. FanDuel plus 3,000. And there's promos on FanDuel. If you opt in, $20. You get your 20 back in a free sports bet. Even if they don't score the first touchdown, you get the 20 back in a bet if they score it all in the game.
Mm-hmm. I do like that. Although sometimes, like the one time when, who was it? Travis Kelce should have scored that game. He was such a lock and didn't score. Sometimes it can be betting. Sometimes you feel so hot, you are hot, and then other times you are just cold and can't win anything.
You think I'm hot?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I think, Ryan. All right, you want to know what I think?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anytime touchdown scored, okay? Josh Reynolds plus 490.
Is that your pick?
That's a lock. I think if you don't play that and you don't put $3,000 down on that right now, you're kind of autistic. I really hate to tell you.
You can't say that kind of stuff.
Yo, you can. YouTube's cool with that. It's fine in their community guidelines. But here's what I think. All right, and this is bold, but my friend Richie Turry, he's in the chat. He actually texted me earlier and he said George Kittle is going to have 3 touchdowns tonight. He said that. So
Richie,
take it for
what
what you will.
They do have odds for that kind of stuff. I wonder what is.
It is. It's plus 6,000. So
What, for 3 touchdowns?
Yeah. So Richie, I'm just putting your name out there, buddy. So if you get this one right, you can be on our show next week, all right? That'll be your reward. We have 2 viewers, guys. Fuck!
Well, I saw we had 5.
Yeah, well, now we're at 3.
They
Oh,
got
that's
off the-
fine.
Hey.
All their internet cut out. That's why. They'll be right back.
Hey, I mean, 5's not too bad. Well, we're not even really promoting this either right now,
No,
so
it's fine. I'm not worried about it.
we got to get used to this. We got to get in the flow here. I think it's entertaining. When people join, they'll be entertained.
All right, here's a good one. Jimmy Garoppolo definitely going to have under or over 400 receiving yards.
What is his over under?
For
I was looking
passing,
at this game. Yeah, I was looking at this game. I didn't.
240 and a half. Just minus 110 under and over.
What are Mostert's? What's his rushing? Like 72 or something, isn't
72 and a half, minus 110. You know, I don't.
What's Kittle's receiving?
George Kidder.
Oh, you know which one I do like is
60
I'm pretty
and a
sure
half.
Cam Akers is 29 and a half, I believe. I like his over on that one. That's probably my favorite bet of tonight. Cam Akers.
29 and a half, yeah.
I like the over on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's chill. That's mad chill, actually, to be honest with you. Ooh, how about this one? This is a good one. Jared Goff under over 24 and a half completions.
How many? 23?
24 and a half.
24? So who's home? Is San Francisco home?
Yeah, looks like it.
24. I'd probably go. Oh, that's a pretty good line. I'd say over though. I'll say over.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to expect in the game. Yeah, like we were saying, it's San Francisco was that was really pretty disturbing. The last performance they had, so we'll see.
It was pretty bad.
It was like, but it's also, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo goes into the game and you have this game plan expecting him to be the starter, and Shanahan was questioning whether or not he was even comfortable out there, if he was ready to come back. So that's just a mess within itself.
Let's talk about real quick here.
And their
Let's go over
defense
some
is
of the big injuries for this past weekend. So I'm just going to go through this list here. There's a list of players, some notable ones here. So one that we didn't mention, Mark Ingram suffered an ankle injury. So, hey, maybe J.K. Dobbins gets unleashed. Gus Edwards definitely going forward, both of those. they probably at least Gus Edwards probably available in a lot of leagues. Like, let me actually look this up real quick because I've talked about him quite a bit. He's probably. I'll look up this. I'd say like over 90% of leagues he's probably available in. Gus Edwards. So right now, right now he's only rostered in 3% of leagues. So pretty big. Definitely depending on how long Ingram's going to be out for, probably going to be the highest ad this week, I'd imagine. What's some other ones here? So we also have nobody. Oh, David Bakhtiari had a chest injury, was ruled out. Green Bay's offensive tackle, one of the best in the game, actually. Devontae Parker had a groin injury and was out. Devin Bush. Love you, Devin Bush. If you're watching this, get well soon, brother. Torn ACL, out for season. Such a bummer because that defense looks so good, and he's a big part of that because they just need that speed in the middle because Vince Williams isn't it. He's not the speed guy in the middle. They need someone to cover in the middle. Miles Sanders, knee injury. The football doc did say he doesn't expect him to be out. It's not an ACL. I forget. I think he said maybe a meniscus, but he doesn't even think it's that. So that's good news for Miles Sanders owners. Ertz, Ryan kind of talked about it, was out with an ankle injury. Tried to give it a go, but couldn't go. Other than that, looks about it here. Nobody else really. Tyler Eifert injured his neck. So he's always hurt. But other than that, so a couple to monitor. Definitely Ingram. If you have Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins, good for you because they're going to be high owned here. And Miles Sanders is so Boston Scott's another one that could be added up this week. So keep your eye on that. And let's go into our next segment here where Kyle makes a funny joke. I can't hear you. Are you talking? Wait, but I really can't hear you. Maybe it's mine.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, way to go, you idiot!
That one was actually Boston Scott's fault. Shit. I knew I shouldn't have put him in. All right, but here's what I think. All right, here's my assessment of tonight's game. Okay.
Who wins?
Who's gonna win is the real question, everybody. And in this chat, all 438 people in this chat really want to know right now. I think that San Francisco comes out and they put a stomping on. No, I'm just kidding. The Rams are gonna win this one. It'll probably be like probably 31-13. That's gonna be my guessing score. I just think the Rams are just a good, well-rounded team, and San Francisco has a lot of issues. I wish them well. They have hit the injury bug hard, so it's not their fault, but you know, it's just the way it goes. National Football League.
Who do you think's going to win, Ryan?
Sorry, I was on mute. I think the Rams will win tonight.
Since you both went the Rams, I'll go San Francisco. But listen to this, right? This is the San Francisco's upcoming schedule. They have the Rams, then they play the Patriots at New England, play Seattle, play the Packers, play the Saints, play the Rams again, Buffalo, Washington, Cowboys, Cardinals, and then Seattle to close it out. Like, that's a brutal stretch here for a team right now that's 2-3. Do you think they could miss the playoffs? Come off of a Super Bowl, not Super Bowl win, but be in the Super Bowl and then miss the playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think they're going to miss the playoffs?
Well, I mean,
I
in
think
order
so
to
too.
beat most of those teams, in order to beat most of the teams that you just mentioned, they need Garoppolo to play at least a decent level. At like one of those QBs that they say like, I'm drawing a blank on the term. Like they're a manager, game manager. Yeah, like,
Yeah. You're struggling with the
he does his job.
right.
He does his job, but he doesn't like win you games himself, and
Hmm.
he needs to get back to even doing that. I don't think he really has been this season, and that was kind of the question for him when the Niners made that trade for him,
Hmm.
if he was even able to do that.
He definitely didn't look like it last week. That's for sure. He looked terrible. I will say though, the Dolphins are a sneaky pick because their defense is actually pretty good, and they've been missing Byron Jones. This is probably one of the best like two cornerbacks in the NFL here with Xavier Howard and Byron Jones on the other side. Like Miami's a sneaky play here to possibly win the division. Well, I guess not win the division because Buffalo, but Buffalo also got beat up pretty bad. But we'll see when these two teams play. Did they already play this season? I don't know if they've
They're
played.
not on the screen right now. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I'm trying to figure it out, but we're still
Yeah, they
alive. They can
did.
hear us. We're good. So
They did play the Bills and they lost by 3 points. So I mean, right now they're 3-2 in the division. Buffalo has to play against KC this week, so they're a sneaky team to possibly make the playoffs this year. And Fitzpatrick looks really good too. And then they got Tua whenever he's done. I think that's a good team going forward. They're built pretty well.
I'm gonna leave the chat and come right back. So make sure you. Whatever. Sorry guys, I'm just having an issue. I'm going right back to it, and we'll be right back with them. You're all cute for watching. Thank you, especially Richie. I love Richie. Richie's God. I think Richie is God.
Let's just go ahead real quick. So we have. Did you look at all the player props, Ryan? Which one was your favorite?
I have not looked other than what we discussed a little bit earlier. If
Okay.
you guys talk about if you like, I'll pull some up and see.
My gaming glasses. Yeah, I mean, my favorite one's Cam Akers. That's my favorite one. 29.5 rushing yards. I like the over on that. And I haven't really looked at any others, but touchdown scorer, I like Mostert to get a touchdown. And captain wise, if you're playing a DFS lineup for this game, a couple lineups, whatever you're doing, I like George Kittle as my captain and Raheem Mostert as my captain. Those are really the only two players I'd really feel comfortable playing in my captain spot, and they're not too expensive. Well, Kittle's not too expensive for a captain. So, Kyle, do you have your favorite bet? Who's your touchdown scorer that you liked?
For tonight, I really have been messing with this, so I haven't looked. Anytime touchdown score?
Yeah.
I did say earlier.
Who's the one that you said earlier?
Yeah, Josh Reynolds. Did I say for first touchdown score, Ryan, or was it for?
You said anytime.
Yeah, he's plus 500. So I just think, I don't know. I mean, he's been getting a pretty decent target share, but Gerald Everett's also kind of a tasty one too, because there are weeks where he's gonna have his plays, he's gonna get his time, but you never really know. But
He's kind of a little bit of a long shot. He's just good at what he does. Is the Niners fullback Kyle?
Yeah.
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk, yeah. He's plus 650 for any time touchdown scorer. If they get close to them, they even throw the ball to him at times too, which is interesting for a fullback. But I can see him getting in at plus 650.
Who was your first touchdown scorer, Ryan? Was it Reynolds?
I like Reynolds and Mostert. Yes, it always just depends. We don't know who. I guess they might know right now, but we don't know who's getting the ball first. So,
Right.
But for those two, depending on who gets it first, or if you want to place some money on both, those are my two picks for first touchdown score. And Josh Reynolds would pay quite a bit if that happens. So, if Josh Reynolds scores the first touchdown, our next show tomorrow, you'll see a very happy Ryan Hokie. So,
you did. Well, and also if you use FanDuel right now, his odds are boosted, so plus 750. So that's a good bet there if you want to throw a couple bucks. I mean, don't go too crazy. And remember, gamble responsibly, okay? You got to gamble responsibly. But yeah, I mean, I like that as well. I also like, I'd probably go Reynolds. That's not too, what is, I'll look at it right now. I want to see what Everett's, what is his at? Because
It's
that one
deep
might be,
too.
if first touchdown scorer, his is right there with Reynolds. I might go him over Reynolds.
This is plus 2,500.
And Reynolds is, where's Reynolds at?
23. Let me look on DraftKings.
Oh.
They look about even on DraftKings. I saw it real quick before the screen reloaded.
I'll go Reynolds. I'll go Everett here because why not? You know, why not?
Let's just make someone's bank account just look great right now. Our bold picks.
Yeah, some bold picks. Let me do a little. What is it?
Plus 3,000 on DraftKings.
Plus 3,000. So it's even better on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have both of them, go to DraftKings and use that one because that's a better bet. I also downloaded Bet Rivers. Do you have that, Ryan?
No.
I'm gonna load some money in there because I took all mine out of DraftKings because they're not paying me my bonus that I won. I sent them. Listen, and I get this because they messaged me and they're like, "Well, you had regular DraftKings DFS with us," and I was like, "Okay, if that's the case, why did I get the bet? I got the bet. I have the bet slip. Like you gave me the bet." Therefore, I should get that bet. And I haven't heard anything from them since. So I took all my money out. I was up like $200 over there. I took it all out. Adios, DraftKings. See you later. I won't be dealing with you guys anymore because that is some shady shit. If you give me the bet and I win the bet, then I get the money that I deserve. That's my little rant there because that's some shady shit.
You know who's not shady? Thrive
Richie
Fantasy.
Curry? Yes. Thrive Fantasy.
Aspire.
Code Aspire. Player prop bets. Hey, we hit some. We lost some, but we'll give you our favorite ones. I think on that site you can only pick 4 as your max. So
Yeah,
keep
and
that in
Richie
mind.
Curry, while we're on the topic, I mean, what a fine specimen. I mean, I love that guy. He is incredibly hot.
He is quite cute. You know, Caitlin's pretty lucky to have a guy like
If
that.
I were a girl, let me tell you.
There goes Carrie Underwood.
What?
Carrie Underwood's gone.
Our friends think they're sweet.
So, any other questions in the chat? The chat's really popping right now.
It is. Guys, can you guys slow down? One question at a time.
So, well, I mean, let's just wrap it up. We're good here. We're good. We'll go live tomorrow, possibly. If not, definitely a show afterwards. Recapping the week. So that'll probably be. Well, there's 2 games. I don't know. We'll see, but definitely a show afterwards. So yeah, if you watched the show, you know we appreciate you watching the show. Thank you. It means a lot to us, honestly. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share. We'd appreciate it. And code Aspire here, Thrive Fantasy. Code Aspire. They'll match your deposit up to $50. So make sure you use promo code Aspire. And thank you all for watching.
And watch us
Good luck
before
tonight.
both of the games tomorrow. Live here, same spot, same times, but that you think that they would be at the times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got that.
Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Kisses.
Bye, people.
Mwah.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.